It's been a rough road. It was a normal life, but my normal is a lot different from other people's normal. My mother was shot when I was 8 years old, and she committed suicide when I was 10. I had 3 kids and was in an abusive relationship for about 11 years. We moved to California for about 5 years and then moved back to Albuquerque. When we moved back, my son Matthew had graduated high school, so he was only 18. And about 6 months after being back in Albuquerque, Matthew and my husband, my first husband, got shot. And my husband was killed and died right in front of me. Matthew almost died, but God saved him, and that's when really I kind of started spiraling out of control. I drank a lot, and I drank before that, but then it was even worse. I was diagnosed with complex PTSD, and I was on a lot of medication, medical marijuana, and had a nervous breakdown, I would say. During that time, I did remarry, and about 3 or 4 years into that marriage and the breakdown, God came back into my life, and He delivered me from the PTSD, the medication, the alcoholism. And about a year ago, I found New Life City, and so with New Life City, I've found inner healing, where I've gone back and revisited the death of my first husband and even the death of my mother. And I have just gained so much healing that through that healing, it's brought other family members to serving God and seeking Him anyway. It's just been a year of unbelievable changes.
My life was all about partying and hanging out with friends, and I had an addiction to drinking, so I would drink uncontrollably. I really didn't realize how much it was hurting my family, and I'd go home and I'd be drunk and I'd be fighting with my wife and wasn't a dad to my kids. The only thing on my mind was when I'm gonna get another drink and when I'm gonna be able to get high again. And it started controlling me and taking over. And finally my mom, she invited me to church one day, and I was like, yeah, I'll go, whatever. Of course, I was drunk and I probably had some smoke in my pocket. So I was sitting in there smelling like alcohol and marijuana, and one day I went back to the church she invited me to, and I just felt God calling me, and I gave it all to Him. I was tired of it already. I was tired of being drunk and tired of not being there and seeing the hurt in my wife and not being there for my kids. I wasn't being a dad like I was supposed to, or the one that God created me to be. And He opened my eyes to that, and I just gave it all to Him. And He took it that very moment. I didn't have the urge to drink no more. I was just set free. It just felt like weight was lifted off me and I can breathe, and it was just amazing. And ever since that seed was birthed in me, I just kind of been running at it full force, just trying to get more of God and growing and learning, and it's been amazing now, and I just owe it all to God and Jesus, and very grateful.
Living with my mom was tough. She had her husband, and I never liked him at first. It was really tough. He would try to go pick us up from baseball practice, and I'd throw rocks at his car and stuff. Yeah, so he had no direction in his life, no parents. He grew up in the streets, in the gang, so he really didn't know how to be a father. He tried his best. He loved us. I know he did. He had got shot. I got shot. He died, and I lived. I blamed myself for living and him dying. Got really bad in my depression. Was diagnosed with PTSD using medical marijuana, pills, and it only got worse from there. Drugs really just took control of my life. Ended up going to jail. That's when I really found God. While I was in jail, I called my mom one day on the phone, and she was at a service, or
Yep. The
it was a prayer service at New Life City, and I was just crying, broke down. I was done with life, didn't want to live anymore. And a member of the church prayed for me on the phone, and I don't know what it was. Next day I woke up, I was at peace. I felt everything was gonna be okay. I wasn't worried anymore. Got into reading the Bible, got into reading scriptures, really just dug in and prayed to God, and I was asking Him for more peace, and it was awesome. I was smiling in the jail after like being so, pretty much giving up on my life. I was walking around looking at people and being like, hey, have you read this Bible? And
I just believe if you cry out and you're serious and you really want to be set free from whatever you're going through or battling, I know 100% Jesus can get you through it. And He's a good Father, and if you never had one and you need one, Jesus is there.